Now here's something kind of interesting. U.S. Marines revealed plans for plasma crowd control weapon that can shout at people from 3,000 feet away, then be turned up to temporarily blind and even burn them. John Titor, that's all I can think of. John Titor, time traveler, allegedly. When you guys see commercials on TV in this time frame, when it talks about these incredibly new technologically advanced weapons used to, against the enemy, just so you know, when they use the word enemy, they're talking about you. That's what Titor said. This is from the Daily Mail UK website. Now, first I said, well, if they got to clear out some Antifa or some hardcore liberals, oh, is he burning them up? Oh, God help him. Jesus, God and baby Jesus, says Saul Rosenberg. Oh, is he burning them up? Oh, no, he uses a knife. No, but in all seriousness, this shouldn't be used against anybody. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not. What in the hell kind of future are we looking at when this is the kind of weapon that needs to be brought out and used against people who are basically protesting? It's scalable, compact, ultra-short pulse laser system will be mounted on a truck. Will be used for security and crowd control applications. Could also be used by many other U.S. government agencies, as well as civilian law enforcement. The U.S. Marines are developing a new laser weapon that can transmit voice messages at long range, or be turned up to deafen, dazzle, or even kill, it says. The scalable, compact, ultra-short pulse laser system, also known as Scopolis, will be mounted on a truck or a tank. It will initially be used as a non-lethal weapon for crowd control, according to U.S. government documents. The aim of the project is to develop a lightweight... Oh, this is going to be... They're going green. They're going green. Lightweight and energy efficient. Oh, this is fantastic. It's just what we needed. I mean, they're going green. They're saving the earth while burning people up. Anyways, the aim of the project is to develop a lightweight and energy efficient next generation ultra short pulse laser system that can produce sustainable and controllable plasma at range, capable of inducing a full spectrum of scalable non-lethal effects. Now, when I heard the word plasma, remember when I had Penny Kelly on? Remember that? Before we were recording, matter of fact, it was the day before, or a couple days before, when we were just talking from in on the phone, setting up, I believe, to go do the Skype interview. And we were talking things about like 9/11, just some other thing. She mentioned the word, what is it? Plasma. She says that's the interesting thing that's going to lead to a lot of technology advancements. Plasma energy. You can do pretty much anything with plasma, she was telling me. And said, I don't think we'll want to get into it on the recorded video in detail about anything with plasma. She goes, because I just don't think we should do that. But she talked about plasma, same thing with the UFOs and the fields and the crop circles. It's all plasma, being done with plasma. She was telling me that. The weapon works using an igniter laser that fires an intense, short pulse, powerful enough to create a ball of plasma. This can be created in mid-air or on the surface of a target. A strong detonator laser then explodes the plasma ball, which can be used to create enhanced, non-lethal effects such as flashbang effects, thermal ablation for pain, and delivery of intelligible voice commands at range, according to military documents. However, the weapon could also eventually be used to kill. The document mentions future plans, including advancement of possible full spectrum of effects capabilities from non-lethal to lethal, along with added command, control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance system capabilities. The weapon can produce a range of effects. At the lowest setting, the weapon can produce speech, and it will be able to warn people up to 1,000 meters away by delivering voice commands or messages. When it gets closer, the weapon will deliver a flashbang effect by sending an acoustic blast of 165 plus decibels at minimum distance of 100 meters. It will also be able to send a flash blind effects, 6 to 8 million candela, I remember that means candle power, momentarily blinding people at minimum distance again of 100 meters. The highest setting of the current model will let loose full scalable thermal ablative effects through common natural clothing such as fabric, denim, leather, etc. at a minimum distance of 100 meters. This would painfully vaporize the outer layer of skin. Rather than burning it, it will be turned into gas. Pesky people protesting, we don't have time for this. Burn them up. Plasma style. Using the different effect would allow operators to control crowds or enemies. Oh, there's that word. Hey, it's right there. The actual word John Titor said to look for, enemies. And when they say enemy, he says they're talking about you. You just don't know it yet. Documentation for the project says it will have direct application to many other U.S. government agencies as well as civilian law enforcement. That's just what we needed. Just what we needed. The Department of Homeland Security, Department of State, Department of Justice, the Secret Service, and Customs and Border Protection also desire this full spectrum of effects capability. The ability to non-lethally interdict a threatening person or persons has utility in many security and crowd control applications, to include several municipal applications. Yeah, it's just what we needed these days. Some new technology that's going to be used against the people, as it always is. Like John Titor said, when you hear about this new great technology to combat the enemy, just know when they use the word enemy, they're talking about you. John Titor. Let's see if I can find it. John Titor. Enemy. They are talking about you. Come on, I gotta find it. There it is. When they use the word enemy, they're talking about you. Road to Ruta. That was I found. Bix has the quote on his site. About you. Here we go. I am currently based in Tampa, Florida, in Hillsborough County. This is interesting because that's where Old Snippy basically is. Yes, I am free, but I have obligations as a citizen. Everyone is required to have basic military training and provide a period of time for community service. It is very much like a type of mandatory National Guard service plus Peace Corps. Yes, civil liberties are more important. You will feel the same after having your house searched a couple of times. We do not live in a racist society, but definitely a prejudiced one. Everyone carries their own water. Our government looks very much like yours. It is a repressive... Oh, no. It is a representative republic. My definition of a patriot is anyone who defends the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Religion has become far less centralized. Extremes tend to bring you closer to God, so I would characterize religion and spirituality as a much more of a personal institution. I do not know what happens when we die. However, I don't think it will be easy. There may be some very difficult decisions we have to make when we die that we are totally unprepared for. It's difficult to define the most predominant religion. Christianity has fragmented into many groups, and people with different beliefs speak much more openly with others who have different outlooks and opinions. I would imagine there are large groups of Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims, but I have not come across them personally. No, Jesus did not come back, at least not that I'm aware of. If or when Jesus returns, do you think he'll be a lamb or a lion? No mission to Mars, but we're working on it. There's a group working on the idea of gravity displacement to get into space, but the calculations and error rate are very large obstacles to overcome. We don't know what's on Mars yet. We're not on the moon yet either. A great deal of technical effort is going into cleaning the planet up. I'm not aware of any mind control devices being used on you now. However, there are a great many non-lethal weapon systems in development that turn out to be quite lethal. Sometimes I watch your television programs that show SWAT teams using new non-lethal weapons. They usually start out with, in the future, the army and police will fight its enemies with new weapon systems. End quote there. When they use the word enemy, they're talking about you. Capital letters U, exclamation point, he says. You don't really think the Marines are going to jump out of helicopters overseas with sticky goop, pepper spray, and seizure lights, do you? I'm not familiar with the term psionics. Someone else. All right, so I'll look it up and see if we have another word for it. Yes, Europe is a mess. Yes, I think the New World Order idea tried to establish itself. I would consider them the combination of the old U.S. federal system, Europe, Canada, and Australia. Those are the countries he just named, huh? Interesting. Deep State. What was the Five Eyes thing? Remember the Five Eyes intelligence? Europe, U.S., I believe Canada, and Australia. The ones that went in on spying on Trump illegally. The Five Eyes, or what that was called? And I'm catching up on this now. The old U.S. federal system. Oh, the old one that Trump is trying to dismantle to give us our country back and put us back in power. Oh, the old federal system, okay. Europe, Canada, and Australia. When you say teleportation, I assume you mean public transportation. Yes, we have a basic high-speed system. I don't know if the government created AIDS. Because he's like answering lots of questions in one post. That's what's happening here. I tend to think yes, but controlling... Yes, about AIDS. I tend to think yes, but controlling it escaped them as it mutated. You can't have conspiracy to limit the population with the disease without the cure. Yes, homosexuals are in the army. You tend to look past the individual differences of people when their job is to protect your life. Yes, there are gay people in 2036. I am a white male. Yes, there is an entertainment industry. Again, it is very decentralized. Decentralized. Where have we heard that term before? Thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Boom! Firepower! Cryptocurrencies. Decentralizing everything. Now, see, when I first read this, it didn't make sense to me in that shape at all. Even several years ago, still didn't catch it. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Yes, there is an entertainment industry. Again, it's very decentralized. The technology to express yourself with video is so readily available that many people do it all by themselves or in small groups. Much of the distribution is over the web. Could you imagine if he used the word theta? I would go batshit crazy right now if he used the word theta. But he's describing this in the year 1999, 2000, and maybe 2001-ish time frame. Oh, there wasn't Google, correct. Oh, there wasn't Google Video, which tried to compete with Google, correct. That was 2005 and 6. Ooh, that's interesting. Again, that's why I will never forget this story, no matter how our future turns out. It's just too amazing. The technology to express yourself with video is readily available. Many people do it by themselves or in small groups. Much of the distribution is over the web. I would compare it to theater here. I don't know what you mean by VR. Someone asked him about VR, probably virtual reality. The average lifespan is about 60. But I expect that will improve as we get things cleaned up. Yes, paper money is still widely used. The 21st century has a while to go, but the most significant person, in my opinion, is the farmer general who led us to victory. Even for you, Tesla technology can be found in appliances, motors, and generators. I would have to say we have come a long way on Tesla's foundation, but we don't have electricity rays that cause earthquakes. So I'll stop there for now. Anyways, Take it easy.